Before you launch your next game, do this one-time Windows optimization. These steps are 100% safe. They actually work on Windows 10 and 11 and they'll help boost your FPS, reduce shuttering and make your PC run smoother overall. And the best part, you only have to do this once. Let's get started and do this carefully. Alright, the first thing that we're gonna do here is to remove startup apps. To do that, click on Ctrl-Shift-Escape. That should open your taskbar. And on the left side, click on Startup Apps. And there you're gonna find all your apps that boot when you turn on your computer. And now we're gonna disable this so it doesn't run on backend. Here we're gonna look on few things that's not actually required in your startup. First thing is, if you have an Xbox, turn that off by clicking on disable. Same like if you have a uTorrent, disable that. And if you have leave the Steam because you might run your games on that, and turn off your rain meter if you have anything on your wallpaper. I would prefer not to turn off anything with Microsoft like the Windows Security or Windows Defender, so leave that open. And don't turn off any of your GPU, your graphic cards apps, or NVIDIA or AMD's app that you use in the background. And for sure, I'm gonna disable OneDrive. Also the iTunes helper, I don't really use that, and disable that. And you don't need the Epic Games launcher. Also, you don't need a EA launcher, it's already disabled. Most people prefer to have Copilot on, but I don't really like Copilot. I don't really use it. You can turn that off. Also, anything that's run on Adobe. If you're an editor, I prefer to have any backend services to be turned on. But if you're gonna play games, I would turn that off as well. So now we make sure that a fewer app that's needed during the boot to function your computer. This should help you to have a cleanup priority. Next we're gonna do is to remove all the Windows bloatware. Those are the softwares that came pre-installed on your PC and you don't really use it. To do that, go ahead and click on Windows R. That should open your run command and type for shell apps folder and press OK. This should open your app folder. You could basically see all the app that got installed and pre-installed. You could go ahead and click on settings and apps and click on uninstall apps, but this would give you a clear-cut idea of those software that came pre-installed and you really don't use it. And selectively you can go ahead and uninstall the ones that you don't need. The next thing that we're gonna do is to turn off all the Windows useless features that's not really contributing towards your gaming. To do that, go ahead and open your settings. And the first thing that you're gonna spot is personalization. Click that and scroll down and try to spot taskbar. Open that, and the first thing that we're gonna turn off here is the widgets. We don't really use this, like if you need your weather forecast or if you need your calendar popping up or a to-do list or a sticky notes. If you need anything that's fancy, you could turn that on, but it's actually consuming a lot of your GPU usage and resources. But for on gaming scale, I don't recommend this, so you can turn that off. Next, we're gonna click on apps and go ahead and click on apps for websites. So this is it opens a link on an app instead of a browser. So it has a cache memory backed in, so you can turn them off. All of those right from Microsoft To Do, Microsoft Teams, and Microsoft Defender. We don't need any of these. After this, go ahead and click on gaming. And this is one of the best thing that I tell all to my gamers: never turn on in your game bar. Because when you have a NVIDIA or AMD apps already pre-installed, they come with a game bar where you can record and take a screenshots, or if you can live stream. But I don't really recommend game bar. You can turn that off. The last thing we're gonna see here is the accessibility, and right here we're gonna find something called visual effects, and you can turn off your animation effects and turn off your transparency effect. These both are really fancy to have in your PC. If you need your apps or any windows that you jump in or the folders that you open back and in, and if you need an animation effect or any kind of like a transparency effect, it's gonna look good. But on a gaming scale, we don't really need this. The next thing that we're gonna adjust is visual for performance. This will smoothen your PC and reduce micro shutters. This is basically any fancy animation that's sitting on your PC and taking most of your CPU and GPU usage, and it can stabilize your UI experience, but it might not look fancy to walk through, but it's gonna actually help your gaming. To do that, go ahead and click on Windows R and type S sysdm.cpl. It's not system, it's sysdm. I'll put it on the screen and press OK. Here you're gonna find advanced, and on the performance click on settings. Right here I have clicked custom and I have turned off everything except three: the animations in the taskbar, show thumbnails instead of icons, and smooth edges of screen fonts. So I've just selected these three out of everything. So basically you're telling the PC, don't give me a fancy look of animation, give me a good performance based and lower the usage of UI, and send a lot of resources to gaming or streaming software that you're using. The next thing that we're going to do here is virtual memory page file optimization. I would recommend this for any computer that's between 8 GB RAM to 16 GB RAM, and we're going to see how to optimize it. If any game that run out of memory, we can optimize it and not let it crash. To do that, go ahead and click on Windows R, and just like our last step, it's sysdm.cpl, not system. Make sure you don't misspell it. Click OK, and like the same step, go ahead and click on Advanced. Under Performance, click on Settings, and again you're going to click on Advanced. Here somewhere in the bottom you're going to see Change. Click on Change, and you're going to uncheck Automatically Manage Paging File Size for all drives. Click that and click C drive and click on Custom Size. Now I'm going to show you a tricky step. You need to know your RAM size, and you're going to convert that to megabytes and then multiply it by that with few numbers, so it gives you a value of initial size and maximum size. To do that, let's open our calculator. Like I said, my RAM is 32, so 32 multiplied by 1024, that's 32,768, again multiplied by 1.5. So this should give my initial size. I'm gonna copy paste that here, and again the same step, 32 multiplied by 1024, and again multiplied by 2 now, and this is going to give you 65,536. That's your maximum size. This should help you get enough memory and your game doesn't crash in between. And also it's your paging few sizes pre-allocated in your memory, so it could take this and use on a virtual basis if something goes wrong while you're playing games. Next, we're going to do a save registry tweaks. These tweaks are really safe, and this will help you reduce your telemetry and increase your responsiveness. And the first thing that we're going to set is how to allow a telemetry that does not break any update. To do that, go ahead and click on Windows R. And now we're going to search for something different. It's regedit. Go ahead and click OK. That's going to open your registry editor. Press S. And the first step I always do is to create a backup of your registry settings. So if something goes wrong, you could always have a backup that's gonna help you come back to your old state. So you could always run back and set any settings that went wrong. To do that, click on File and click on Export, and let's give a file name called backup regi. I think I already have a backup file here. Click on Save. That should export all your settings. Once you're done with that, we're gonna go ahead and click on Local Machine, then Software. Then you're gonna find Policies and click on Microsoft and Windows. Once you reach here under Windows, we're gonna go ahead and click on Data Collection. Right here, you're gonna click on Right Click, New, and click on DWORD 32-bit value. Click that. Let's rename that as hello telemetry, and open that and set your hexadecimal value data to 0 and press OK. So that's our first step. So this does not create a break update. Now we're gonna see how to improve our foreground priority. To do that, you're gonna click on again local machine, but now we're gonna click on System. In System, we're going to click on Current Control Set, and under that again Control, and here you're going to find something called Priority Control, and right here Win32 Priority Separation. Double click and open that, and again under hexadecimal we're going to set the value to 26 and press OK. Now what we did is this gives a small boost to apps in focus. That's our gaming software. So it just sets a really good focus point for a current app that's running, and this is gonna help a lot of boost for your performance. Next, we're gonna see how to enable the real gaming features. These are mostly turned on. You might have optimized, but let's roll back and see if you have really turned on these features. The first thing, we're gonna go to settings and click on gaming and click on your gamer mode and turn your gamer mode on. This is so basic, that should be on. And under graphics, make sure in advanced graphic settings your hardware acceleration GPU scheduling is turned on. Also let on your optimization for Windows game on. If you're playing any games on window mode, not on a full screen mode, this will actually set a reduced latency towards your windowed game and give more preference to it. Next, we're gonna see how to optimize your GPU. This is one of my favorite part in this video. Most of the gamers doesn't optimize their GPU settings, but they set to the default. Now we're gonna see how to optimize it, and this is gonna reduce your input lag and improves your FPS, frames per second, and it actually works. If you check out my stream, I followed this setting and it pretty good works for me. Let's see how to do that. Go ahead and click on your Windows button and search for NVIDIA control panel. Once you're in, we're gonna find something called manage 3D settings, and the first thing that we're gonna change here is the power management, and on a default it's set to normal. Set that to prefer maximum performance. Once you're done with that, we're gonna set our low latency mode and we're gonna turn that on. And the next thing we're gonna see is the shader cache file, and this is preferred driver default. We're gonna change that to 10 GB. I'm damn sure no one's cache memory is more than 10 GB. I'm sure you're not gonna run a 50 game or like a 20 game on the same time, so a 10 GB should be good. Next, we're gonna find the texture filtering quality and set that to higher performance. Once that's done, and next we're gonna find OpenGL rendering GPU. It's on auto select. You're gonna change that to your graphic card, and once that's done, we're gonna find vertical sync, and it says use a 3D application settings, but you're gonna turn this off. And that's it for the NVIDIA users. I don't have a AMD settings, but in future videos you'll focus on AMD. But if you're using an NVIDIA, this settings is really good, and it's gonna help you to reduce your input lag and increase the frames per second. Next, we're gonna see how to do a full screen optimization fix. So if you have any games that install on your computer, I'm not talking it from a Steam or Epic Games or any other gaming software that you use and you purchase from those softwares and you're trying to open it, but I'm talking about any games that installed with a setup file on your PC and you open that app from your computer. And let's see how to optimize on a full screen fix. To do that, first thing, let's go ahead and find that file. For example, I have few games on my desktop, and let's say it's a Rockstar Games launcher. You're gonna click on that file, right click, more options, properties, and you're gonna find something called compatibility. Click on that, and under here you're gonna make sure to click on disable full screen optimization. Click that, and under change DPI settings, you're gonna make sure to click on override high DPI scaling behavior. Click that and let that be an application. Press OK, apply, and OK. Now run this at administrator. So this should make sure that your Windows doesn't interfere while any games that's on a full screen, and none of those Windows application would interfere and create any hindrance to your gaming, and this will be fully optimized for any game that runs on full screen. And next we're gonna see how to set an ultimate power plan to your GPU. This is one of my favorite another feature, and most of the gamers doesn't do this, but this actually helps you to set up a steady power plan to your GPU and it doesn't go out of power. To do that, go to your settings and type CMD, that's your command prompt. Right click on it and run as administrator, press S, and here copy paste the exact code. I'll put that in the description as well as on the screen. Press that, enter. Now you would see your power scheme GUID to ultimate power. Just by pasting this particular thing, it actually activates your power plan to ultimate performance, and you're all good, you're all set. That's it. And now it's going to supply an uninterrupted power to your GPU, and your GPU is not going to fall off or run out of power. Now let's see how to clean up Windows junk. These are the temporary file that's sitting on your computer and taking a lot of cache memory. Let's see how to clear that. Press Windows R again, and now we're gonna just type temp and continue, and you're gonna delete everything from here. You're gonna see a lot of files, but trust me, don't think anything about what's in there. Control A, delete, and continue. Then again, I'm gonna press Windows R, but now I'm gonna type temp, but I'm gonna put the percentage symbol and put the sides and press OK. Again, you're gonna delete everything from here. They're all cache memory that's taking a lot of your memory usage. And again, I'm gonna press Windows R. Now I'm gonna search for something called prefetch. Press OK, press continue. Same thing, Control A, delete. This deletes all your leftover junk on your Windows. And one last thing that we're gonna do is click on settings and go to system, and right here you're gonna turn on your storage sense, so this automatically free up any spaces or delete temporary files that's on your cloud content or that's sitting unused or occupying any temporary memory, cache memory. It cleans automatically. And finally, you have optimized your PC for a better gaming experience and no dangerous hacks or no dangerous tweaks that we did here. These settings actually work for me. I have these settings abided and my stream works really good. These are just real performance and improvement that works for any computer that's on a 2024 and 2025 spec. And if this video helped you, please drop a like and comment, and don't forget to subscribe to this video. I'll catch up on the next one. Until then, bye from the Blue Place.
Keep the change, you animal.